Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Dr. Russell Robinson. It is a pleasure to make an acquaintance with you video-wise. I'd like to welcome you officially to English 1250, OL2 and OL3 being taught at North Carolina Central University for the second summer school session 2014. I have nothing but great expectations of being your instructor for this very short semester or short term. We have 5 weeks. We have 5 weeks to get you through a basic introduction of speech course, and it's going to be my pleasure to work with all of you. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, and I think the best way to do that is to actually begin that with the first assignment that you guys actually have due. It's called your About Me page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to, believe it or not, our application. What we're using right now obviously is Google Hangout, and I want to go ahead and go to something that we'll go to quite frequently. It's called Screen Share. Screen Share allows me to, in a nutshell, pull up bits and pieces, if you will, of things that I have on the web, and I can go ahead and go to whatever I have on my screen and pull that up, and you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do right now is pull up, of all things, my About Me page, so you guys can understand exactly what that is and what we'll be doing, what you'll be doing with your first assignment. So as you can see, I actually have the About Me page posted. I hope you guys can see it. If not, I will also provide a link to it for you in Blackboard. But this will give you a snapshot of what I'm looking for. So some simple things about me is that you'll see, first of all, is I consider myself laid back, very loose in how I try to handle especially summer school classes. But again, for me, my motto is that a setback is nothing more than a setup for a comeback. That's pretty much how I've lived my life. Basically, I'm an alum of North Carolina Central University. I was there in 1990, none of your business. And the first time I finished with, of all things, a 2.2 GPA. I was luckily able to get out. And then my mom and stepfather at the time were telling me, you need to get a real job. I thought, well, I'm going to go straight to grad school. Well, I had to go in through the back door, and eventually I got in, and when I did get into my grad program, which is educational technology, I then finished, of all things, with a 3.8 GPA. So I went from thank you, Lloyd, to magna cum. I was very proud of that. I finished my academic career, believe it or not, at Howard University, and I flew back and forth for the first 2.5 years of that program. I literally took my student financial aid money that I received, as well as my other money that I had, my 401k, and I used that to go to school. So it was pretty interesting. I won't go into all of that right now, but I do want to at least share with you how and what I'm looking for in your About Me page and what I want to see you guys do with the About Me page. Basically, I have what I consider a business casual photo here. It's business safe, open collar, but again, you see me pretty much kind of leaning back, but again, this is what I would normally wear when I teach class. So I need to make sure that the photograph that you all have is one that certainly is business casual. We don't want to see a selfie. We don't want to turn this into an Instagram assignment. It is not that. Additionally, you'll notice the font that I have here. In the front, it pretty much is, again, I want to say it is a wide. Let's take a look at it and be on the safe side. Because here, if you go to the About Me page, you can actually see the menu. And what I want to do is I want to try to edit my page, or at least show you what you have in front of you. So if you go to the edit feature, again, I got there by typing my name or clicking on the link to my name. Then I go to edit page, and I can actually go there and do whatever I need to do. So you actually have various parts that you can navigate throughout this page. You have, of course, the font section, which in this case you see the fonts that I'm using. I would very much appreciate it if you would use those fonts and also keep them towards this level for pretty much what we have there. Additionally, it's important that you also take a look at the headline that I have here. I'm going to try to move this or exit out, and I have my name pretty much, as big as it needs to be, capital letters, at least capital first letters, as you can see. And this is pretty much a big headline. My name is who I am, and then I have a headline, which is educator, obviously, speaker, obviously, media and cultural critic, obviously. And as you will also notice, I have a bio here that roughly is, let's see, how many words is that? I'm going to go back to edit page. You guys can see how long my bio is. That pretty much is how many pages, how many words rather. I think that's roughly 205 words. Let's double check to be on the safe. I'm not going to go and do a complete count, but I'm going to do a copy. If I can, a quick copy paste. I'm going to go into a Word doc and just go ahead and see how many words I have here to make this happen so you guys can understand. We've got a new blank document. And let's see what we got. That is roughly, abracadabra. Actually, it's 308 words in my biography. So I'd like to have you create your biography with roughly 300 words. As you create the biography with 300 words, it's also imperative that you do make sure that you spelled everything correctly. It's grammatically correct because I will be taking out points for that. So let's see what else we have going on here. Again, as you can see, you also are able to navigate to the photos that you have there. You can drop and drag them here. You can adjust the colors. The colors here, again, I want you to understand, need to be business safe. How this is, what I have, clearly is business safe. And again, have some fun with it, but at the same time, we want to make sure that this is something that is a good, positive representation of who you are and what you bring to our class and what you're going to do throughout the entire course of the class. Now, I am also going to, if I can get back to this, very good. So I can get back to this, where, oh boy, come on, hang out. Blah, 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 blah. We'll work this out in a second. Boom, there we go. So what we're going to do now is come out of screen share. I want you to see everything. And I want to now also give you guys an opportunity to see how I want you to present this as your first speech. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to screen share, and then I'm going to actually go to a sample of someone's presentation, what they presented last semester, last year, and you can actually see how they pull their speech off. Again, speech of introduction, something that they were able to do. And I felt it's a good example. Let's go ahead and pull this up, if I can. Where is it? And you'll notice that occasionally there will be some times where we'll actually go back and forth, trying to locate bits and pieces of information. These things happen. It's okay. So let me see where I can find this. So I'm going to go back to screen share. And it's important that you get yourself familiar with all of these social media tools that we're using. What we're using right now, of course, is Google Hangout, and Google Hangout allows me to have these video conferences with you. So let's go ahead and try to pull up what we've got here. That's something that's central. Don't need that. Don't need that. So let's go back to my YouTube page, and that pretty much is where I'm actually going to be using or actually looking for you all to have most of your assignments. So I am going to pull this up, and yes, I have a little free time on my hands, but we're going to pull up her speech, Aline, and I want you guys to take a look at her speech of introduction, and notice what we have here. So, Aline, take us away.
When there is a will, there is a way. Life can be difficult, but it's overcoming the challenges and the obstacles that make life worth living. Since my mother passed away when I was 16 years old, I have been working my way up to receive a higher education and to fulfill my goal to become a teacher. I began as a music education major at Cambridge University, but then I switched to early childhood education because I was very fascinated with the development of infants into young adults as I observed my nephews throughout the years. I want to help find ways to help families, and I also want to help find any resource for them. Even though I am no longer studying music education, I would like to emphasize music and the arts in my teaching. played the clarinet when I was in band in middle school up until my college career at Campbell University with the University Wind Ensemble and the Cape Fear Wind Symphony. Currently, I am not in an ensemble, but I do play in my spare time along with reading and writing. I'm a big fanatic of the arts, which include music, art, ballet, and theater. I was also part of the National Students of AMF organization, which is a support group devoted to college students who are grieving the illness and death of a loved one. I created a chapter at Campbell and became president. I have a brother who is an audio engineer and a sister who is a full-time mom and wife. I currently work at Subway as a sandwich artist, and I am also working at a daycare as a part-time teacher assistant in the infant classroom. In the near future, I hope to get my master's degree after teaching for a period of time in the arts or in the education field, and I work my way up to my doctorate's degree. I also hope to travel to other countries to not only just visit, but I also want to teach in a different country so I can help out a community and also help the education of young children. And I also speak Spanish, so hopefully maybe I could teach in a Spanish-speaking country and help young children who speak Spanish teach in English and also teach from what I'm learning in my classes.
Thank you. Okay, so as you can tell, that was a little bit lengthy, but it got the point across. What she did in her speech of introduction is basically, again, introduce herself. She didn't read anything primarily or exclusively from her About Me page, but what she was able to do was, again, convey who she was, and did it in a rather innovative way. You'll also notice when you saw her speech of introduction, she additionally was able to have her About Me page in the background. That's mandatory. So I need you to come up with a creative way to make that happen. Either you can connect your laptop or your iPad, whatever you have, to a flat screen monitor and use that in the background and have someone film you in the front as you also are looking down or referring to some notes while you're interviewing yourself, of course. So I wanted to go ahead and share that with you because I know there have been quite a few questions about that, what I'm looking for in the first assignment. Okay, I'm going to digress for a quick moment because I want to take some time now to go over some other things logistics-wise and also, I would say, policy-wise with the class. So we're going to go back to, of course, our good old-fashioned screen share. And I'm now going to pull up the Statement of Understanding that I sent to all of you, which you should be submitting to me by 5 o'clock today, certainly no later, I would say, than 6th of July. I don't know why I keep thinking that it's February. Okay, so what we have here, folks, is our Statement of Understanding. You should have already looked at this and downloaded a copy of it and sent it back to me via email. I'm going to go over, again, all of these so you make sure that you understand what I'm looking for primarily so that you can be successful in this class. Again, we have the general verbiage. Thank you for enrolling in this course. I'm looking forward to working with you for the semester. Before proceeding further, please make sure that you understand the following requirements for the class, an initial, etc., etc. So again, students must have a YouTube account that is solely for the purposes of this class. Again, the student is responsible for all readings. That means you need to get a textbook. Next, the students must have a digital recorder with sound. Again, we're thinking of a digital video camera. You can use your phones, but again, the main thing is that you want to make sure that it allows you to videotape yourself, I know I'm aging myself, to record yourself and then upload it to YouTube easily. Students must have high-speed internet access. And you should have access to your own computer, if not your own regularly scheduled access, so you can get to it as liberally as you need to. Along with that same access, it's the expectation that you have a good background in Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and again, regular access to the computer. The level of PowerPoint expertise I'm looking for should be not advanced, but basically at some basic competency. You need to know some camera composition. You need to know exactly what I'm looking for, not what I'm looking for, but what makes a good PowerPoint presentation slide. That goes in, that's actually detailed in Chapter 10 as we move on out the course. Students must have a Google Plus account, and I need to go ahead and I need to know what that account information is as soon as possible. Once I know what that is, I can then add you to our circle in class and then move forward with some new announcements about the Hangouts that we will have quite frequently. Students also understand that the speech, they must have an audience of 6 people, college age or above. Again, I'm going to emphasize this, your informative and persuasive speech, you need to make sure you have that. And again, we're only going to really do an informative speech because our time just does not allow us enough time to give you the quality instruction I think you need, as well, and then also pack 4 speeches in together with that. I think that's a little excessive. Students also understand that the speeches will not be evaluated without the accompanying paperwork. Now, paperwork in this case means we need to make sure you either have your About Me page, we need to make sure you either have your outline or the PowerPoint presentation that goes with it. So you need to make sure that you have that. I cannot and will not evaluate any work without the accompanying paperwork, speeches that is. So please do yourself a favor, make sure that you read the syllabus and follow the assignments that you receive to the letter. And I usually send out an assignment spec sheet for that so that folks know what I'm looking for and how they will be evaluated. Think of this as the first rubric, and then of course when you are looking at the final presentation you submit to me, I then will be using the rubric for your evaluation. So let's go ahead and cut back if we can to the statement of understanding. And where was I? Yes. Let's see. Students also understand that they are, I need to go ahead and make sure I correct that you are subject to the 48-hour rule. And notice that I did take the not out of there. Typo. Basically, the 48-hour rule is simply this. If you have a grade that you are not satisfied with, you have 48 hours from the time that grade is sent to me, or that's sent to you rather, 48 hours to get that grade and talk to me about that grade, and we can have a conversation. If you feel and you can demonstrate that maybe the grade could have been higher, I have no problem with fixing that. One of the things I tell my students up front and foremost is that no grade is worth my life, your stress, or either way. So really, this is a speech course, and I like to keep it fun, but I also want to make sure that as you are learning throughout the course, if there's an opportunity for us to reevaluate a grade and there is a legitimate concern for that, I want to make sure that I give you guys the benefit of the doubt and always extend you every courtesy that's possible. So again, we're going back to our screen share and see what we got going on there again. And let's take a look at the last sections here. Whoopsie doodle. Okay. Students understand that speeches must be submitted on your YouTube channel. Okay, so that means please do not, and I will not accept any speeches that do not come to the YouTube channel. That means the onus is on you between now and the first speech to get familiar with YouTube right away. I do not take speeches that are submitted to Blackboard. The reason for that is because it slows down the Blackboard server. Next, students understand that more than 4 zeros can mean an automatic drop from the course. And the reason I put that in place is because I don't want to see you fail unnecessarily. If you don't have the time that you need to commit to this class, by all means, no harm, no foul. Do yourself a favor, reschedule your time to take this class. One of the things that people, or I've found as I've taught this class now online for the past, I'd say 2 years now, is that sometimes people believe that an online course is easier, when in actuality, the online course means that you must be self-motivated. It means that you have to make sure you follow the deadlines, and you must be fully engaged. So even though we may not meet face-to-face on a regularly scheduled class, modality, if you will, the idea here is that you are an independent student, And the idea here is that you can and will follow the instructions that have been sent to you. And the idea here, too, is that you will take the initiative to contact me if you have questions about an assignment. And again, if you even know up front that you have some issues with the technology or you have some issues with the time commitment, that you really have a serious sit down with yourself and say, can I take this class? Is online class or is the online speech class the best option for me at this time? In some cases, it probably is. In other cases, it may be a bit inundating. So the idea is for you to take advantage of this time we have now, that you will go ahead and then look at your schedule, look at the time commitment, and look at what you are going to need to commit to this class. And if you already know up front that you have some issue that could prohibit you from being successful in this course, that you would take this time now to say, you know what, maybe this is not the right time for this class. But if you have all of the basics that you need, i.e. you have a good computer, you have good time management skills, you are going to be fully engaged in this class, you have the book and you are reading the book, and you have no problem contacting me, hey, this might be the best option for you, and I'm looking forward to having you in the class. I'm going to go over the last sections that we have here, then I'm going to go over the basic assignments for the course, and then I'm going to let you guys go. It's about that time to start 4th of July, and I don't want to keep any of you away from other plans you've got going on. Again, students also understand that the syllabus is a living document and it is subject to change at the discretion of the instructor. The student also understands that they must allow the instructor 48 hours to respond to all inquiries. And last, the student, again, is responsible for reading and watching all communiques sent from the instructor. All right. So I think that pretty much puts everything on the table. It's as transparent as I can be. Again, and this is something that we need to also do. I'm going to now do the last screen share of the day, and I want to actually go into the syllabus because this is something, believe it or not, that many of our students who've had this class, for some inexplicable reason, just do not read on a regular basis. And again, as I said, the syllabus is a living document, so it's important that you actually follow that syllabus. And again, as I said before, I probably will make modifications to the syllabus as I need to. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you so you can actually see it. Again, this is how to contact me. My number is 919-530-7108. Again, and I don't, well, you can shoot me a tweet if you'd like. At one time, I was allowing people to send me text messages, but then for some strange reason, that just got a little bit out of hand. As you can see, this is the class book that we're using. We have the ISBN number there. Again, students are required to have a YouTube account. You have a digital video recorder, high-speed internet access. We've gone over this already. Student learning outcomes, pretty much, we want to make sure that you are going to read through this, know what's happening, and look over this at your leisure. But what I think is important, which I really want us to get down to the nitty-gritty of, and I think this is what you really want to know, are the assignments and the due dates and how the grade will be distributed. So again, your first speech is the speech of introduction. That is July 13th. The demonstration speech is July 23rd. And the informative speech is due on August 1. Note that the speeches, average total of the speeches, are 70% of the grade. So again, it's important that you do not miss a speech. If you miss a speech, you can go right from 100 down to a C, just like that. We don't want that to happen. Again, speech paperwork. You have the About Me assignment, which is due on July 5th. You have the demonstration speech, which is due on demonstration speech outline, and that is actually due on July 20th. And you have the demonstration PowerPoint speech, demonstration PowerPoint presentation. That's due also on July 20th. Your informative speech outline and the informative speech PowerPoint, they are due on July 27th, and that's a significant day for me because that is my birthday. And again, we also have the class participation. That's at 10%. Class participation comes from your doing the discussion board posts. It comes from your attendance at the Google Hangouts and all the other good stuff. As you will see, and you can look down here, you have your first week of assignments, which we are at right now. And again, please do yourself a favor, download a copy of the syllabus and make sure that you are following the syllabus, because again, the syllabus is a living document and you actually will find a lot of your questions that you have answered primarily in the syllabus. As a matter of fact, I have a t-shirt which I'm thinking about getting called "It is in the Syllabus" and putting it on some days. All right, so I want to first of all again thank you for your interest in signing up for this course. I am looking forward to having you here. I am looking forward to a very good summer class. The semester, folks, is going to fly by pretty quick. I want to make sure you understand that. It just is the nature of the beast. But as it is, I want to also assure you that my goal is to make sure that you are successful in the class. And for that to happen, we need to make sure that we communicate as effectively as possible. Meaning, call me if you need to, shoot me an email if you need to. And of course, the onus is upon you, and I will leave you with this as we end our first video session, if you will. Please do yourself a favor, make sure that you are keeping up with the work. This is a rather independent type of class. It requires you to be self-motivated. It really requires you to take initiative in some cases, be engaged, have fun with it. Please read the syllabus. In some cases, you may want to actually say, I'm going to get ahead of the syllabus because I am going to get done with this class and enjoy my summer vacation. And I want you to have a good summer vacation. I want to have a good summer vacation. But for that to happen, it's important that you also make sure that you still follow the syllabus, read the syllabus, and be in contact with me if you need to for questions that you may have. And trust me, you will have questions. I can guarantee it. Please get your Hangout addresses to me as soon as possible. Please also establish your social media sites. You'll need to again have your About Me page. You will also need to have your YouTube account, and again, Google Plus account for Hangouts. All right, folks, I've enjoyed our quick meeting. Thank you for signing up for the class, and thank you for your attention. I will make sure this link is available for you. You can download the link on demand as you want to, or if you have the ability to watch as we go live, you can do that too. It's going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. Have a good, happy, safe 4th of July. I want to make sure everyone, has some fun. But when you get back next week, we're going to get on the grind. So until then, be safe, be well, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you back here next time at our Speech Online course. Take care. Bye-bye.